Welcome everybody to the October 19th, 2023 County of Newell organizational meeting. I will call this meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. We have everybody here, so no need to excuse anybody from the meeting. There are a number of things included in the agenda package regarding procedures for voting and appointing committees. I trust everybody has reviewed that information prior to the meeting. First order of business is to call for nominations for the position of Reeve. I will call 3 times for nominations, and at the end of the third call, I will declare nominations cease. So with that, I will open the floor and call for nominations for the position of Reeve. Neil.
I'll nominate Arno for that position.
Neil nominates Arno Dirksen for the position of Reeve. I will call the second time for nominations. Call the third time nominations for the position of Reeve. Seeing none, I declare nominations cease and declare Arno Dirksen Reeve of the County of Newell by acclamation. And with that, we do have Lane Johnson, our Director of Corporate Services, here with us today to administer the oath of office.
Thank you, Councillor.
Lane, if we could get the oath going through the mic.
There, okay. I, Arno Dirksen, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of the Reeve of the county for the County of Newell, so help me God.
Just have you sign right here. Congratulations.
There. Thank you all. As always, keep me on a short leash when I need that, so thank you. It's been a pleasure to serve and continues to be. Let's move on to the nomination for the election of Deputy Reeve. Again, I will do the same. I'll call 3 times for nominations, after which I will declare nominations cease. So first call for nomination for Deputy Reeve. Lynette, please.
I nominate Kelly Chrisman.
Thank you. Kelly accepts. Are there further nominations? Third call, further nominations for Deputy Reeve. Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease. Congratulations, Kelly. And we will proceed with selecting the oath, right, or accepting the oath. Now.
I, Kelly Chrisman, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of Deputy Reeve for the County of Newell. So help me God.
Just need the motion where it's written out. The others are just for information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll just review for all of these committees.
Yeah.
It's nominated by nomination. Okay, let's move on with our organizational meeting agenda. Board and committee appointments, and we'll start with the Agriculture Service Board, which has been the 10 councillors, with the Reeve acting as chair of the Ag Service Board. We need a motion that the role and responsibility of the county's Agriculture Service Board is delegated to and will be carried out by County Council. Someone make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Holly. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Moving on, the Soil Conservation Act Appeal Committee is 10 councillors. That's simply for information. Municipal Planning Commission as well is 10 councillors, and we'll organize ourselves at our first meeting, which will be in a few minutes. Agriculture Pest Act Weed Control. We need the motion there. You'll see the motion under 6.4. Someone prepared to make that motion. Kelly, please. Moved by Kelly Chrisman that we appoint Edward Bidet, Sarah Burnett, Hubie Kellen, Doug Rogers, and Lois Schmidt as members at large to the Agriculture Pest Weed Act, Weed Control Act, Soil Conservation Act Committee for the third year of a 4-year term. Okay. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. We'll now move to the Airport Commission. We need 1 councillor and 2 members at large. So do we, I'll accept nominations for the councillor to the Airport Commission. Dan?
I'd let my name stand for that committee again.
Volunteer, okay, thank you. And members at large,
Lionel Jess and Ron Sarita.
okay, right, I'm sorry, we have a motion there, so we, are there further nominations? At this point, we're nominating our representatives, so we have Dan Short has volunteered. Are there further nominations? Second call for nominations? Third call for nominations? If not, I would ask for a motion to appoint Dan Short to be our representative. Ellen Unruh, please.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. And I think something that's worth noting, we also have the opportunity at this point to talk about issues or goals for 23-24 in the case of where we have considerations that we want to talk about in regard to that. We don't have to do that, but I just note to councillors, if you have thoughts with regard to any of the committees that we're appointing, that this is a good time to discuss them. So I will look for hands if you want to speak. Dan, please.
After that fly-in breakfast, I'd like to see, over the course of the next year, I'd like to see more events like that happening at the Brooks Airport, and hopefully get some kind of a little bit of expansion maybe going on there to make it possibly open for larger aircraft, but that's a long-term goal.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead, Holly.
Just perhaps some more information brought back from it. Unfortunately, I know very little about the Airport Commission and what happens there, so that might be helpful for the rest of us.
And maybe, yeah, thanks, Holly. How often do you meet Dan?
Very, very rarely.
Okay, okay. There's not a routine at this point, is what you're saying?
It's pretty much as needed.
Okay, well, that's efficient as well. So anyway, we have a potential motion that we appoint Lionel Just and Ron Sarita as members at large to the Airport Commission for a third year of a 4-year term. Someone make that motion? Adina?
I'll make that motion.
So moved. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Moving on to 6.6, the Assessment Review Board, local and regional members are required to complete new member training through Municipal Affairs. Then a refresher training course program will be completed every 3 years to maintain Assessment Review Board certification. So this is kind of a specific committee that comes with some specific information and education responsibilities. And we have a motion there to confirm the appointment of the Assessment Review Board as being Anne Marie Phillipson as the chair, Daphne Ancy Martin, Chris Dingwall, and Kevin Bridges. Is someone prepared to make that motion? Amanda, please.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Moving on to the Bow River Basin Council, number 6.7. If you'll recall, we didn't appoint somebody to that at our organizational meeting last year, but I was appointed a few months ago. I've attended one meeting. I would be willing to continue on that if that is our wish. But with that, I will accept nominations for the Bow River Basin Council. Holly, please.
I'll nominate you for that position.
Thank you. Further nominations? Second call? Third call for nominations? With that, I will declare nominations cease. And you'll recall at our last meeting a couple of weeks ago, we had a presentation from the Bow River Basin Council, and I think as per the discussion around this room, I think it's a good thing to maintain representation there, and I will look for direction from you with regard to issues that are put forward. Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they're extremely well connected. You'll find 5 or 6 MLAs at every meeting because of the way the Bow River flows. I think you should even pack a councillor with you to the meetings because that's an important committee, or will be in the future if the river stays the way it is. We should be right on top of it.
I think that's a good idea, and so I will invite people, councillors, as you're interested. I'll try to keep everyone informed about things that are happening and offer, there's no problem a couple of us going. Holly, go ahead.
I'm wondering would there be interest, Neil, in you being the designated alternate. I think though we could all go for interest, it's probably good to have a consistent person or persons there for it's quite a position.
I'm already well aware of everything that goes on there, and I think it's good that the rest of you get a little more information on how important the Bow River is and how it operates. And it's an eye-opening thing, and it's the most important thing in this county. So I don't want to be a designated alternate. I'd rather have it spread around.
I'm certainly happy to ensure that we have somebody attending, the two of us. Go ahead, Lynette.
I was just going to suggest it maybe be revolving.
Sure.
Like, I don't know how often the meetings are, but, just pick a different person each time, or who can go would be.
Yeah, I think there's 3 or 4 meetings a year, and then there are other activities that are probably pick and choose or not necessarily must attend, but yeah, we can work on that. And then in cases where I can't go, I'll certainly try to pass on to get someone else there on a regular basis. So I think also the discussion we heard yesterday with regard to the irrigation potential off of the Red Deer River to the north, I think highlights the importance of water in this district and using as much water in our district through the Eastern Irrigation District as we possibly can. I think that has been something that has been primary for our council, and we need to continue on that track, I believe. So,
Yeah, I agree.
thank you. Do we need a motion, or has that been, have we had a motion?
Yeah, we did.
We did? Okay, thank you. CAO Performance Evaluation Committee, we need the Reeve and 2 councillors. So nominations to be part of the Performance Evaluation Committee. Currently, it has been 4 of us. It's been Greg, Kelly, Adina, and myself. Go ahead, Matt.
Just to back up to Bow River Basin, we do need the motion and a vote. We missed that.
Oh, we missed that. Okay, that was.
Thanks, Lane.
Yeah, my. Go ahead.
I'd like to make that motion. Oh, did
Oh,
you?
Holly moved. Oh, that was the nomination.
You
Okay.
need a motion to go to Bow River.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to make that motion.
Okay, to appoint myself as.
Yes.
Okay. All in favor, please indicate. It's carried. Thank you. Okay, back to CAO Evaluation Committee. We've had 3 councillors and the Reeve in the last year. We're open for nominations. Adina, please.
I'd like to nominate Greg.
Thank you. Adina nominated Greg. Further nominations? Greg?
I'd like to nominate Adina.
Okay. Further nominations? Ellen, please.
I'd like to nominate Arno.
That's a given.
Oh, Kelly.
Okay, thank you. Ellen nominated Kelly. Are there further nominations? If not, I think we can either have a vote, or we can, as we did in the past, have a motion to appoint 3 people with the Reeve to be the CAO Evaluation Committee. Lynette, please.
I can make the motion to appoint 3.
3 people? Okay.
Plus the Reeve.
That's right. Thank you. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. City of Brooks, item 6.9, City of Brooks Recreation and Parks Board, Division 5 Councillor, Division 10 Councillor, and up to 3 members at large. And we have a potential motion presented there to appoint Councillor Greg Screever, Neil Johnson, excuse me, Laura Lukey, Kathy Delday, and Kathy Safronovich as members at large to the City of Brooks Recreation and Parks Board. Go ahead, Kelly.
I'll make that motion, Reeve Dirksen, and with special thanks to our volunteers on that committee and all other committees.
Right, thank you. That's well noted. All in favor of the motion, please indicate that's carried. Thank you. Councillor Compensation Review Committee, 3 councillors. I'll accept nominations, please. Lynette, please.
I'll nominate Amanda.
Lynette nominates Amanda, thank you. Are there further nominations? Ellen.
I'll nominate Lynette.
Ellen nominates Lynette, that's accepted. Are there further nominations? Holly, please.
I nominate Dan, because you're so good at it.
Dan accepts. Okay, we have 3 nominations. Are there further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, I will ask for a motion that we appoint Amanda, Lynette, and Dan. Adina, please.
I will make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Item 6.11, the County of Newell Library Board, 1 councillor and 9 members at large. Nomination for a councillor. Dan, please.
I'll nominate Lynette Kopp for that position.
Thank you. Further nominations? Third call for further nominations. With that, I'll declare nominations cease. Would like a motion to appoint Lynette as our representative.
I'll make that motion.
Amanda, thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Now, members at large. So advertisements for members at large were published in the Brooks Bulletin and Bassano Times in September and October of this year, and on the County of Newell webpage and social media channels. Applications were received, and there are 2 applications from Division 8. So just for, we need nominations for members at large to the library committee, right?
For Division 8.
For Division 8. Right. You'll notice the chart on the agenda that all of the other positions are still, these are 3-year terms, right? Or 4-year terms. So Division 8 is up for this year. Do we have nominations for Division 8? Oh, sorry, Lynette. Please.
I just wanted to actually talk a little bit about the board, like the fact that we have more than one person here too. A little clarification though from Lane, is Lorna actually live in the county? Okay. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. We did have a couple applications from people who don't live in the county wanting to sit on that board, but upon review of our bylaws, that's not the way, that's not appropriate. We need someone who lives in the county to be on the board and live in the division that they would be representing.
Okay.
So that.
Thank you for that clarification. So, do we have nominations? We have two those are nominations already? How do we go ahead, Matt?
Yeah, so it's open for council to nominate one of the applicants, or if you have somebody else in mind from the community who's willing to serve on that board, you can also nominate at your leisure.
Thank you. Amanda, please.
I would like to nominate Lorna Marshita.
Okay, thank you. Are there further nominations? Second call for nominations, or third call for nominations? With that, I will close nominations, and we have Lorna Marshita nominated. We need a motion that council confirms the appointments of members at large to the County of Newell Library Board as per the chart there, with Division 5 and 10 being vacant, but all other positions then filled. Someone make that motion. Dan, please. All in favor of the motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Item number 6.12, Fire Area Committee, Basin and Rural Area Division, Councillor from Division 6 and one other councillor. Are there nominations for an additional councillor to be a representative to the Basin and Rural Area Fire Committee? Kelly, please.
I haven't talked to Dan about this, but are you interested, Dan?
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I can, with my new schedule, I can handle this, but if somebody else wants an extra workload, I'll step back and let somebody else take it. But with this is not out of the, this is not out of the range of workability for me, for sure. I can do it.
I will nominate you then for the position of Div 6 Fire Rep.
Thank you. Second call for nominations. Seeing none, third call for nominations. With that, I'll declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Councillor Chrisman and Councillor Short as our representatives. Lynette?
I'll make the motion to appoint Kelly and Dan to that board.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. Okay. And I'll just repeat, if there are issues or goals that you want to discuss around any of those, I'll look for you to identify yourself. We won't spend time with that unless someone has something to raise. So let's move to item 6.13, Fire Area Committee for Duchess. So nominations for a councillor to represent together with Amanda. Neil, please.
Yeah, if you'll take it, I'll nominate Dan just to have some continuity between the
Dan
departments.
accepts. Are there further nominations? Third call for nominations. Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Councillor Philpott and Councillor Short.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Amanda. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you.
But I did.
Moving to items 6.14, Fire Area Committee, Rosemary and Rural Area, Councillor from Division 7 and one other councillor. Nominations for representative to Division
I'll
7.
nominate Dan for that committee.
Thank you, Lynette. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint Councillor Unruh and Councillor Short. Holly, please.
I'll make the motion to appoint Councillor Ellen Unruh and Dan as the Rosemary Rural Area.
Thank you. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That's carried. Moving to item 6.15, Foothills Little Bow Municipal Association. Again, there's no action to be taken here other than to confirm that that we all 10 serve as councillors on that committee with our CAO as a non-voting member. Moving on to item number 6.16, Grasslands Regional FCSS. We need one councillor and member at large. So I will open nominations for a councillor to serve at FCSS. Amanda, please. Holly accepts. Are there further nominations? Third call for nominations. Neil?
Yeah, I'll nominate Amanda.
Okay. Neil nominates Amanda. Are there further nominations? Seeing none, I will declare nominations cease, and we need to have a vote for our councillor representative on FCSS. What happened to the? Here, I've got. Pardon? Oh, you got some? Oh, we all have? Okay, thank you. Missed the cue. Too early for recess. There wasn't one. Holly? Okay, thank you. I will, Holly has been elected to represent us, but we need a motion, excuse me, to appoint Holly Johnson as our representative to FCSS. Ellen, please.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. That's carried. Moving on to item number B, members at large, and we have kind of three options here. We have Clarence Amulung has been our representative for the last 2 years and served when he was a councillor for 10 years prior to that, I believe. But so we can appoint Clarence Amulung for a third term, or secondly, we have an application from Jamie Nesbitt to be our representative at large to the FCSS board. Or the third option is we can appoint a second member of council as the county's member at large, which there's been some informal discussion about that, but I will look for nominations for that position, and we'll have a vote if we need to. So Greg, please.
I'd like to nominate Amanda for that member at large position.
Okay. Greg nominates Amanda. Are there further nominations? Dan, please.
I'd nominate Clarence Amulung to remain on for his term.
Okay, thank you. So we have 2 nominations. Are there further nominations? Adina, please.
I'd like to nominate Jamie Nesbitt for member at large.
Okay, thank you. Are there further nominations? Lynette, please.
Could I just get something clarified as to whether Jamie Nesbitt qualifies, because he does live in the city of Brooks, but is he a county taxpayer? Like how does that work then? Maybe
Lane,
could
have you
give
got
us-
the details of that, please?
Yes, the information that has been provided, Jamie currently lives in the city. He does have property at Lake Newell Resort. They are building a home that is under construction at Lake Newell Resort and will be moving in as soon as the home is complete. So,
And previously lived out at Kinbrook Island.
correct.
correct?
Was a resident
Prior.
of the county at Kinbrook Island prior to moving into the city in preparation to move back out into the county.
Okay, thank you. So your assessment is that he would be eligible as a member at large on behalf of the county? Okay, thank you. Are there further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease, and with that, we will have a vote for a representative as a member at large to the FCSS of Grasslands Regional. Okay, as per the vote, I will, Amanda has been selected as our representative, but we need a motion to confirm that. So motion, Neil, please. Okay, that Amanda be our member at large to the Grasslands Regional FCSS. And with that, I would like to publicly thank Clarence Amulung for the many years of service to the FCSS, and also Jamie Nesbitt for offering to be our, or volunteering to be our, applying to be our member at large as well. So we'll move on. Yes. Neil moved. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Item 6.17, Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for Bassano. Councillor Chrisman plus one other councillor. Nominations for that position, please. All accept nominations. Holly.
I was just going to ask for clarification if there is value in having a same person appointed to, Dan kind of filled that role previously. If there's value, and he's out, if there's like the same person to all that. Want to look at that or not as an option?
Okay, that's a possibility, but we'll deal with those. Matt, you had a comment, and then.
I think there could be value to that because you're seeing things across multiple communities. I do know Planning and Development has updates to the IDPs on their work plan for next year, 2024. So there will be some effort that goes into this committee that typically between updates on plans you don't see so much of.
Thanks, Matt. Kelly, please.
Again, I haven't spoke to you about this, but you have maybe only one IDP to the north and west maybe, but would you be that person? I know you were the councillor on Div 6 with me before, so I'm wondering if you would be all around the county, that IDP person.
I guess I could be. What's the time, what do you expect the time consideration to be again, Matt?
I expect the time consideration to be a total wild card as we are opening up those plans for an update. So depending if there's issues or not issues will drive how quickly we get through those updates. They can be somewhat intensive.
Okay, so from experience, the first time we went through this, we drew on a close neighbor. So in Div 6 area, it might be Rosemary or it might be Jam area, that councillor that would support the Div 6 councillor
Right.
at that table. So either Ellen or Arno. Do you have a preference?
I'm open to, go ahead,
Ellen?
Ellen.
I'll nominate Arno for that position.
It's one way to push the motion.
I will accept the nomination. Are there further nominations? Further nominations, please. With that, I will declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Councillor Christman and myself to that. Holly, please.
I move that we appoint Kelly and Arno to that committee.
Okay, all in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Let's move on to item number 6.18. That's the Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for Cypress County, and we need 2 councillors. Adina, please.
I would like to be on this, since
Okay.
Cypress County is next to Division 2.
Yeah, Adina is nominated.
Okay, do you want to be on it too?
Are there further nominations? We need 2 councillors for this position. Neil, please.
What about Dan? Because it touches out there too.
You accept?
Yeah, I do, unless we're planning on putting one person on around all of them for that consistency, but if not, yeah, I'll accept that nomination.
Okay, are there further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Adina and Dan. Amanda, please.
I'll move to appoint Adina and Dan.
Thank you, Amanda. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. We'll move on to item 6.19, Municipal Development Plan Committee for Dutchess. Councillor Philpott and 1 other councillor. So I'll accept nominations. Holly, please.
I nominate Ellen.
Ellen accepts. Are there further nominations? Adina, please.
I'd like to nominate Lynette.
Okay. Lynette accepts. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? With that, I'll declare nominations cease. Ellen, please.
I'll withdraw my nomination.
You withdraw, so we have nominated Lynette, still stands. So with that, I'll accept that. We need a motion to approve Councillor Philpott and Councillor Kopp as our representatives. Kelly, please. That motion?
Yes, I move to appoint Councillor Philpott and Kopp to Division 8.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for Rosemary, Division 7 councillor and 1 councillor. Go ahead, Holly, please.
I was going to nominate Amanda.
Okay. Holly nominates Amanda. You accept the position, that nomination?
I do.
Thank you. Are there further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, I will declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Councillor Unruh and Councillor Philpott. Greg, please.
I'll move that.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Item 6.21, Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for the Special Areas. We need 2 councillors for this. Adina, please.
I'd like to nominate Lynette.
Okay, Lynette accepts that nomination. Okay, further Lynette, go ahead.
And I would nominate Arno as the second.
Okay, thank you. So we have 2 nominations. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, we need a motion to appoint Councillor Kopp and myself to that committee. Adina, please.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Item 6.22, the Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for the MD of Tabor. We need 2 councillors here as well. Are there Adina, please?
I nominate Holly.
Holly accepts that nomination. Are there further nominations, Lynette?
I would nominate Dan as the second.
Okay. Are there further nominations? Seeing no further nominations, I'll declare nominations cease. Amanda makes a motion to appoint.
I move to appoint Holly and Dan.
Thank you. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Moving on to items 6.23, Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for the County of Vulcan County. We need 2 councillors again. Lynette?
I nominate Holly.
Okay, Lynette nominates Holly. Holly?
I nominate Kelly.
Holly nominates Kelly. Are there further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint Councillor Johnson, Holly Johnson and Chrisman. Go ahead, Dan. That's moved. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee with the county, with the Wheatland County. Again, we need 2 councillors. I will open the floor. Adina, please.
I nominate Greg.
Adina nominates Greg. Accept further nominations. Ellen?
I nominate Kelly.
Okay, you accept that, Kelly? Are there further nominations? Holly?
Is it border for you, Arno?
It is on the north side. Yes. Yes, it would be.
Guess I'll nominate you then.
You're nominating me as well? Okay, I would take that. Further nominations? Are there further nominations? I'll declare nominations cease. And we need to write 2 names.
Yeah, 2 separate pieces of paper, please.
2 separate pieces of paper?
Yeah.
Right. And nominated are Greg and Kelly and myself, right? Yeah, no, let's just vote here or something like that too.
Arno and Kelly.
Okay. Thank you. The results of the vote are that Kelly and myself will be should be the representatives to the Wheatland IDP, but I need a motion to confirm that. Holly, please. So moved.
I motion that you and Kelly take the IDP for Wheatland County.
Okay. Thank you. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried as well. Thank you. Moving to item 6.25, Joint Services Intermunicipal Development Committee with Brooks. We have 3 councillors, and the CAO attends as a non-voting member. I'll just point out that as Reeve, I'm ex officio on all committees, so I was an appointed member of that committee last year, and I know there's interest in representation on that committee, so I will step back, recognizing that I can attend those meetings at any time, and will if that's useful for us. But with that, I know we've had this discussion before, so I'm simply withdrawing my name as a potential nominee. But with that, I will accept nominations or volunteers for 3 councillors. Amanda, please.
I'd like to nominate Greg.
Amanda nominates Greg. Are there further nominations? Greg?
I'd like to nominate Kelly.
Greg nominates Kelly. Are there further nominations? Holly?
I would volunteer to be on that committee.
Volunteer to be on that committee, okay. Holly, are there further nominations or volunteers? Ellen?
I nominate Neil.
Okay. Ellen nominates Neil. You accept? Are there further nominations? Are there further nominations? Seeing none, we will have an election, and we have 4 nominees, and we elect 3 people. So write 3 names on 3 pieces of paper, right? You're getting sensitive. Good for Holly. That's a good idea. I wasn't thinking of it that way, but that's the right way.
You guys creamed through that after I left, I guess. After I left the room.
Oh, now?
Yes.
Oh. Okay, I missed that you weren't there, but I mean, Holly mentioned it on the way out. Why don't we have an election? That's good. I mean, it's healthy. Nobody argued.
No. Very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Amanda.
And I think that those are good speaking. It's a reasonable time for, I think it reflects council's interest in making sure we understand the process there and that it's legitimate. It's good.
And to support Victoria too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, just to announce the results of the vote for Joint Services Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee with the City of Brooks. Greg, Kelly, and Neil will be our representatives, so we need a motion to that effect. Do we have, Lynette, please. And Lynette moves that we appoint Greg, Kelly, and Neil. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Yeah, you need that. Let's move on to item number 6.26, Mayors and Reeves Association of Southeast Alberta, which I am a member of. I have not always been able to attend those meetings, and in that case have I think Kelly's attended, or Holly attended at one point, and it was a practical, that made some sense. So, but with regard to issues and goals for 2023 and 24, are there, and we have a few minutes if we need to take it, are there issues and goals that we need to consider there? I think things like our support for the Airmore Dam project is one that is worth raising there as there's opportunity. They don't meet often, but when they do, that's something that I think is worth bringing up. Are there other things? Kelly, please.
Reeve Dirksen, if we could raise it at this meeting, I think we need to raise awareness on our highways in our area. Highway 1, Highway 41 on the west side, or sorry, the east side of the province. And there are others, but those two are on my hit list high.
Okay.
For resurfacing, simply resurfacing. And I think we need to raise the level of awareness.
Okay, thank you. Neil?
Yeah, the other one is obviously Sewa,
Right.
because we need all those people there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, thank you. And this is oh, go ahead, Kelly, please.
What was
Holly,
interesting was at that meeting, the head of the transportation was there and listed all the highways that they were planning to do work on. And I said, he had nothing for County of Newell. And I was like, where's County of Newell? Oh, I didn't know you guys wanted an update or something. But that was really interesting. That was all brought forward there. So I think our list needs to be available.
Right, thank you. That's a good point. And this is a living discussion, so we'll add matters to this as the meetings come up, and I'll try to make sure that we're aware of them ahead of time. So with that, we'll move on to excuse me. Item number 6.27, the Newell 911 Dispatch Association. We need one councillor to represent us there. Neil?
yeah, I'll volunteer for that again. It's only 2 meetings a year.
Okay, thank you. Are there further nominations? Third call for further nominations. With that, I'll declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Councillor Neil Johnson. Kelly makes that motion. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Holly, go ahead, please.
Can I just quickly go back to the joint services issues and goals? What I'd like to see is that the agenda package be distributed to County Council if that's possible. Neil shared his with me one time, and it was really interesting information is going to joint services the rest of us aren't seeing, specifically around some certain areas, say with Mitch's area. You know, I think it's really beneficial for that information to be shared more widely.
That's a good point, and thank you for raising that. And I will suggest that become a routine matter of as that agenda is circulated, it gets circulated to all of council, and then we have opportunity to provide input to the representatives. Neil, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a really, really good idea. It's too bad all 10 of us couldn't be on joint services, because we need all your ideas for things to do, and you got to know how we're spending your money.
Okay, thank you. Greg, please.
Yeah, agree with Neil. And just in talking about joint services a little bit, we're looking for some big projects to do similar to the one we did with the journalists. We had really good traction on that, and worldwide. And that's what we're looking at, are big projects like that, in order for us to kind of get behind and plan for. It creates excitement, not only in our council, but around the entire county. So if you have any ideas, hear of anything that maybe we can get behind as joint services, please bring them forward.
Thank you, Greg. Well said. Any further discussion around joint services? And again, as per, we're meeting a couple of times a month, so we have lots of opportunity to discuss those matters as they come up, and we'll have some heads up ahead of that, I would think. Go ahead, Lynette.
I guess on that note, I would just like to see Mitchell more often, like to give us a rundown of what is going on. Like, I don't know if there is a schedule for him coming.
Okay, thanks, Lynette. Greg, or pardon me, Matt, sorry. Oh,
It's all right, there's lots of names going around.
yeah.
We try to get Mitch in about quarterly. No set schedule, but that's kind of what we aim for.
Okay, thanks, Matt. We're on to item number 6.28, is that correct? Yes. Newell Housing Foundation, we need 2 councillors. Ellen, do you nominate?
I'd like to nominate Amanda.
Ellen nominates Amanda. Are there further nominations? Holly?
I'll nominate Adina.
Adina accepts all further nominations. Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, all in favor of, pardon me, no, we need a motion to appoint Councillor Philpott and Councillor Scanderup. Kelly makes that motion. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Newell Recycling Association, 1 councillor. Neil, please.
I will nominate Lynette.
Neil nominates Lynette. Lynette accepts. Are there further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll move nomination, or I will declare nominations cease and invite a motion. Dan, please.
Move to appoint Lynette.
Yeah, thank you. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Are there issues? Kelly, you've got some comments there.
Just a quick question, and it goes back to earlier this spring. I'm wondering if the relationship with Newell Regional Solid Waste and the Recycling Association needs some work. I'm just asking. I mean, we heard in council that the funding was late or not available as needed. I'm wondering if the funding's being reviewed regularly. Is it being updated, upgraded? Who can answer? Is that you, Neil?
Yeah, there's kind of a disconnect between
Okay.
the landfill and Newell Solid Waste, but I think that was just a bookkeeping error that they didn't get paid there last time, because as soon as we brought it up, it was taken care of.
So is funding increasing as our expenses go up to operate? Is that being reviewed?
That'll be reviewed. It hasn't yet.
Okay.
Probably as soon as we get the organizational meetings done, but yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Let's move on to item number 6.3, Newell Regional Solid Waste Management Authority. We need 1 councillor for that. Are there nominations? Ellen, please.
I'll nominate Neil.
Neil accepts. All are there further nominations? Any further nominations, Neil, please?
Yeah, I'll accept it, but I definitely have not earned an A for my performance on that committee. It's a hard one to coordinate, to tell you the truth, but we'll keep plugging away.
Okay, thank you. Any further nominations? No. I'll declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint Neil. Amanda, please.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Thanks for that. And issues and goals for 23-24. Holly, please.
Just completion of construction resulting in quicker service would be nice to see, right? For the trucks, no trucks lined up on the highway anymore?
Yeah, you'll notice that'll come about. It'll take a month or two, but we are probably going to have to review our 1999 agreement with the rest of the county just to clear up all the issues that seem to come up on a pretty regular basis on that committee. Matt and Sean are working on it through the management end of things, but yeah, be prepared for that and keep yourselves informed. I'll help you as much as you can because I know that's coming.
Okay, and I think that's reasonable, but in the interim, I think we just need to send our priority that the the agreement that's in place is the one that should be dictating how things are done. And I know that there's been discussion about that, but it relates to costs to county residents that
No,
are
that's
being
the way it
charged.
is. That's the way it is right now. But it will come up. Maybe it'll stay the same, but we have to sit down and go over that one of these days.
Yeah, just as, I think we just need to send a message that the priority of what that agreement was is still in place until it gets changed. So, yeah, if it gets changed. So, thank you. I think that's good. More to come, I'm sure. Let's move on to 6.31, Newell Regional Services Corporation, NRCS. 2 councillors are their nominations. Amanda?
I'd like to nominate Ellen.
Nominate, Ellen accepts the nomination. Greg, further nomination?
I'd like to nominate Dan.
Dan accepts. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I will declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint Dan and Ellen. Amanda, please.
Adina will make that motion.
Adina made that motion. Thank you. It's getting long here. We're into the second hour. Looks like all in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Oh, Lynette, go ahead, please.
Just something with Newell Regional Services. I feel like it would be really important for the council to have a tour of that facility and just for the councillors to understand, like, we talk water, water, water. Well, that's water, right? Yeah. We need to know and understand how that all works too, I think.
That's a good idea, and I would suggest we schedule a tour of the facility there that piggybacks on a time when we're already in a meeting. So that's a good suggestion. Thank you. Let's move on to item 6.32, Newell Regional Tourism Association. We need 1 councillor. Are there nominations? Holly, please.
I nominate Adina.
Adina, go ahead, Adina.
I just want to point out, the name of that committee is not Newell Regional Tourism Association. It is Brooks Regional Tourism. And yes, I accept the nomination.
Thank you. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? I declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Adina. Lynette makes that motion. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Any Holly, go ahead. Issues or goals?
I would like to see Newell included in all advertising and programs they're running. That would be what I'd like to see happen with tourism.
Okay, thank you. Ellen, please.
I'd like to echo Holly's idea that it carries the same name as it does for the Joint Services Committee.
Okay, thank you. That will be further discussion, I'm sure. Thank you. Let's move on to item number 6.33, Palliser Economic Partnership. We need 1 councillor and 1 business representative. Nominations. Neil, please.
This isn't a nomination, but being that PEP is recharged and needs a little bit of steam under it, could we replace that business rep with 2 councillors?
Holly, you've got an opinion or a comment on that, and then Dan?
I was going to suggest the business person be replaced by the economic development officer, would be Mitch. That's becoming more common in that area that people are sending their economic development officers.
Okay, thanks.
And I was going to say that I no longer own a business, so I wanted to step back, so my name needs to be coming out of there anyways.
Okay, I will accept nominations or further discussion. Kelly?
And I wanted to add that we only have 1 vote at that table anyway. So our other representative goes without a vote. So sending a second councillor is redundant, really.
Okay. Neil?
Can we make Mitch our other rep with Holly?
Yep. I would like to nominate Holly and Mitch.
Okay.
If he had, we haven't talked to Mitch, so.
He's already confirmed, I went over this with him after talking to Holly.
Oh,
He'll be at every PEP meeting, whether we nominate him or not.
so
Okay.
my nomination for Mitch and Holly works.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? I'll declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Holly and Mitch as our representatives. Ellen, please. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Well, moving on to, we can stand some efficiency there, right? We dealt with that in one motion.
We got a lot of committees.
6.33B. Let's move on to 6.34, Recreation Board for Division 5 and 10. We need a motion to appoint Councillor Screever and Neil Johnson as our representatives. Amanda? So
I'll make that motion.
all in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Recreation Board Division 6, Councillor Chrisman and one other councillor look for nominations. Kelly, please.
I will nominate you as in the past, Arnold.
Okay, thank you. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Councillor Chrisman and myself. Holly?
I will move to appoint Kelly and yourself to the Recreation Board Division 6.
Okay, all in favor of that, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Let's move on to Recreation, Parks and Culture Board, Duchess and Division 8. Councillor Philpott and one other councillor. Amanda, please.
I'd like to nominate Lynette.
Lynette accepts. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? I'll declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint councillors Philpott and Cobb. Neil? All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Regional Emergency Advisory Committee, one councillor and one alternate.
It was last year.
I think I've been on that. Nominations, pardon me? That's right, Dan and I were, are there, I'll accept nominations for councillor and alternate. Lynette? Oh, sorry. Oh, Lane, sorry, that we have a procedural information.
Yeah, the agreement that we have with the other municipalities establishing the Regional Emergency Advisory Committee suggests that it would be the chief elected official that would be one of the members of council for sure.
So as the representative, so we're looking for an alternate, is that correct? Okay, so we need one councillor as an alternate. Are there nominations?
So I was on the board and I would let my name stand again, but if anybody else wants to jump in,
Okay, I will.
nominate away.
We have Dan as a nominee. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, we need a motion to appoint Dan as an alternate. Oh, Adina, please.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Road Band Committee, there's the Reeve and the Director of Municipal Services and two other councillors. Are there nominations? Lynette?
I'll nominate Holly.
Holly accepts.
And I'll nominate Lynette.
Okay. And Lynette accepts. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and need a motion to appoint. Greg, go ahead.
Also move.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Safe Communities Committee, we need one councillor. Holly, go ahead.
Just a quick question on the committee. I was reading up on it. We send one person and Brooks appoints 9 members at large. Is that correct? And how much, is that a necessary committee, I guess? I'm just kind of wondering if we have much of a role on there. I'm not familiar. I know, Amanda, you sit on it, but I don't know much about it.
Really, the county doesn't do a whole lot on that committee. We just take in information, and it's provided by Safe Communities. Really, they're self-contained. They do their thing.
Okay, thank you. Kelly?
So a question, do we have monies going there? Is that why we followed? How much, do you know, Amanda?
Go ahead.
We fund 20% of that. I think last year it was around $17,000 that it came out to.
Okay, further questions or comments? Are we ready for nominations? Lynette?
I'll nominate Amanda.
Okay, Amanda accepts Kelly. Go ahead, Kelly.
Sorry, Greg is expressing an interest in that committee. He's close to Brooks as well.
Okay, so we have 2 nominations. Any further nominations? If not, I'll declare nominations cease and we write one name, correct? Greg or Amanda, please. Getting dangerously close here. Not an hour. I don't think we've ever spent an hour.
We voted, that takes.
Yeah. That's okay. It's a healthy process. It's good. Yeah. Okay, the results of the vote. Greg is our representative on Safe Communities. So the committee, I will look for a motion to confirm that. Kelly, please. Motion to appoint Greg. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you.
Dan wanted to go back to this, and we should get a separate motion to appoint you as a member on that.
Oh, do we need that? Okay, yeah. Okay, that's just been indicated that we need to move back to item 6.37, Regional Emergency Advisory Committee. We, I think maybe I misinterpreted the information. We need to probably appoint, have a motion to appoint myself. Dan, is that, go ahead.
Yeah, I did the math in my head on this committee. The workload is something I could handle, except for as an alternate, I would have to be going in with fairly short notice, and their daytime meetings, so to get that time off to attend would be near impossible. So this committee actually does not work for me, and I'd like to take my name off of that
Oh,
committee.
okay, that's the issue, okay. I will accept that withdrawal, and we'll move back to item 6.37 then. So we need a motion, or pardon me, a nomination to be the alternate for that committee. Lynette, please.
I would just volunteer to do that.
Okay. Are there further, I will reopen nominations. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? We'll declare nominations cease, and then I think technically let's,
I was going to nominate Amanda if she was interested.
okay. Holly nominates Amanda. Are there further nominations? Seeing none, I will, we'll vote and write one name, Amanda or Lynette, for the alternate on the Regional Emergency Advisory Committee, correct? So you pick out of a hat. 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 Yeah.
It's the right one. That's the reason we don't like even numbers. Oh, wow. This is the biggest problem we've got.
Okay, thank you. As a result of the vote, Amanda has been declared our alternate. So I'm going to look for a motion, and we weren't clear on this before, but that we appoint the Reeve and Amanda as the alternate to our representatives on the Regional Emergency Advisory Committee. Holly makes that motion. Okay, all in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Moving on to Salary Negotiation Committee. We need 3 councillors as per policy 2009 PLG 005, Salary Negotiating Committee. Are there nominations? Who did we have last year? Adina, please.
I nominate Greg.
Adina nominates Greg. Further nominations? Holly, please.
I nominate Ellen.
No, Ellen is nominated by Holly. Further nominations? Dan?
I nominate Lynette.
Lynette? Okay, you accept? Further nominations? Are there further nominations? Seeing none, I will declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint Greg and Ellen and Lynette. Amanda, please.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Amanda. All in favor of the motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Let's move on to the Shortgrass Library Board. We need 1 councillor. Lynette was our representative last year. Are there nominations? Holly?
I nominate Lynette.
Lynette accepts. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? I'll declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Lynette. Kelly, please, all in favor of the motion, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Southern Alberta Energy from Waste Association. We need 1 councillor. Councillor Johnson, Neil Johnson has been on that. Greg, please.
I'd like to nominate Neil.
Okay, Neil accepts. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? I'll declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint Neil as our representative. Kelly, all in favor of the motion, please indicate. That's carried. And just for our additional information, Kelly is also a representative on as a member at large from the annual meeting a few weeks ago in Vulcan, so we're well represented. It's good.
Just wanted to declare that.
Yeah, thank you. Item 6.43, Division and Development Appeal Board. We have up to 4 members at large. We need a motion to confirm the appointment of the following Regional Subdivision and Development Appeal Board: Lois Schmidt, Nigel Seymour, Colin Welchute, and Sarah Burnett. Someone make that motion? Neil? All in favor of the motion, please indicate. That is carried. And we have number 7. Kelly, go ahead. You had a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to go back and ask for council's blessing to attend on behalf of the County of Newell on the SEWA board. I think that requires a motion.
Okay, thank you. Lynette, so moved?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Okay, thank you for the heads up on that. Lynette, please.
With the Subdivision and Development Appeal Board, it seems like everybody's training is going to expire. We're just putting them back on that board. Have they agreed to update their training, or are we doing this and we're going to have to put somebody else on in January?
Thank you for the question. Go ahead.
Yeah, the board members understand that their training does need to be renewed every 3 years, and we'll make sure that that happens.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for noting that. Let's move to our banking resolution. We need a banking resolution. that we approve the banking resolution whereas the Reeve or Deputy Reeve and the Chief Administrative Officer, Director of Corporate Services, or Controller can be given the authority for the necessary signing of checks for the various county bank accounts. Adina,
I'd like to make that motion.
thank you. All in favor of the motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. We're getting dangerously close to the end of this agenda. Regular meeting schedule will not change unless we have a motion to take action to change it, Matt?
Yes, so new this year, and thank you, Ariana, for putting this full year calendar together. Hopefully you've taken a chance to look at the calendar that is attached in the agenda package, which shows the regular meeting schedule, except for a few things where we've shifted. So we're recommending council adopt this meeting schedule. You'll notice in January, the regular meeting that would typically have occurred on January 25th, we have shifted prior to that date. You're at ASB conference in Lethbridge. To accommodate that, we've shifted up the meeting schedule in February, so the meetings happen a week earlier. And then again in March, we shift the regular meeting schedule for council MPC back by a week. I believe those are the two main changes for regular council. And then for committee of the whole, we're recommending to shift the October meeting into November to accommodate the budget review. I think our experience with committee of the whole meetings over the last year has been relatively positive. It is another meeting that takes a body of work to plan and prepare for, looking at for the year and including our budget review on the July committee of the whole, and then again for November. So if that meets council's approval, we'd be looking for a motion as such.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or comments, or alternately a motion to approve that? Go ahead, Greg, please.
I'd like to thank Ariana for putting the meetings on our calendars. That it helps me out immensely, so thank you for that.
Yes, thank you, and I would echo that. Thank you for the good work you do to keep us organized. Appreciate that. Holly?
I would make the motion, but I just wanted to clarify them that these meetings are set and there's no more, we don't need motions, we just go with this. This is set in stone, relatively.
I would argue with that, but go ahead, Matt.
That is the aim. So shortly after taking the CAO chair, I noticed, we are spending a lot of time in, well, not a lot of time, but we do spend some time in council saying, the things that we could have looked forward to and planned for, we didn't so much. So we've tried to take a longer view and consider all the potential conflicts and just get it set up for you in advance so you can plan your year. You've got a lot of meetings as members of council, a lot of conventions and seminars you could potentially be away for. So I think this is the next iteration. It's an improvement having the full calendar in front of you for consideration.
Thank you for that, and I would agree with that, but it is set in stone. Sometimes it'll be sandstone, right? Yeah, good. Okay. So we have a motion to approve that. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Councillors' compensation and expenses policy. That's for information. Item number 10, we need a motion to destroy the ballots. Neil moves to destroy the ballots. All in favor of that, please indicate. That is carried. And with that, I will adjourn this meeting. And do you want to go right into the MPC? No, we need that. Let's take 5 minutes and reconvene our MCPC meeting at 10:30.
And I'll take the chair.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.